Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I'm not camping outside a store for Black Friday or any Friday.
We're with Kat. That's why our Ace Black Friday sale lasts all day. Just print out our online coupon, bring it in, and save 50% on an item under $30.
Ace is the place with Black Friday offers all day. Go ahead and sleep in.
Print out our coupon at acehardware.com and stop by Ace this Friday for 50% off one regular priced item under $30. Offer valid on November 25th only at participating stores. Limit 1. Exclusions apply. See coupon.
Sid Rosenberg.
The one and only Sid.
Live, local, on it.
You never know what's going to happen.
Exclusively.
Party is this.
77 WABC.
It's been a long, hard battle, but we're finally here. Whatever card we do end up bringing, it will be massive. It'll be a big card with our biggest names.
This is the biggest card we've ever done. 3 title fights.
2-weight world champion. UFC history. I love New York. I think this really completes the journey for MMA because coming to New York means you're coming to the place. Madison Square Garden is the icon, international icon for great sports events.
You heard it right there, folks. Back on the Bernie and Sid show on WABC. Saturday night, huge night, bigger than the Thriller in Manila. This fight, the card, they got some of the best people on it. So exciting. Top of the card, of course, Conor McGregor and Eddie Alvarez. But also on the card is our next guest. He is the former UFC middleweight champion right now. He's a kid from Long Island. His name is Chris Weidman. Chris, good morning and welcome to Bernie and Sid.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Not at all. Pleasure, man. Pleasure. So how you feeling? You're going to fight this dude. His name is Yoel Romero. You are a middleweight, which in boxing terms is like 160 or something like that. But in UFC, it's over 200 pounds, 205 pounds, I believe. So how you feeling for the fight for Saturday night?
You're right about the boxing, but for my weight class in MMA, it's 185. But I probably will be fighting at 205 like every other 185 guy.
Okay, so you drop down. You drop down in the next couple. You do the weigh-in today, and then you drop down for 2 days.
We do the weigh-in on Friday early morning actually, and then we don't fight till late at night.
Oh, and then
a lot of time.
Then you bulk up.
Rehydration.
Right. You bulk up, right? You stuff your face. Do you work out after the weigh-in, or you just take it easy? You're done, pretty much.
No, after the weigh-in, it's just chill out, man.
Yeah.
It's about just getting you back to where you want it to be as far as weight and relaxing, just chilling out, letting your body recover from the training camp, and all the work is done. At this point.
How many months?
There's no reason to.
How many months, Chris, of hard training have you done for this bout exactly?
I would say 2 months hard.
Yeah.
And smart hard, not stupid hard. I've done the stupid hard for a long time. I've really smartened it up a little bit, and I don't go balls to the wall like 3 sessions a day like I used to. I do 1 or 2, and but before that, I'm still working out every day. Before that 2 month period, so I kind of came into the camp in shape.
Chris Weidman, ready to battle on Saturday night, UFC 205. So, you talked about it a bit there in the open we just played, Chris, but we asked us of all the guys. Frankie Edgar was here a couple of weeks ago out of New Jersey for a Baldwin, Long Island kid to be fighting at Madison Square Garden. What does this mean to you?
And this is nuts. It's so surreal, man, to be honest with you. I grew up in Baldwin, right by the train tracks, and I grew up taking that Long Island Railroad in with friends, starting in 7th grade. I guess before the parents, parents would just let you out and they gave you a curfew, and you could kind of do what you want until then. Nowadays, it's not like that anymore. You got to be careful. But I used to just take the train to the city and different towns Long Island, looking for girls with a bunch of friends, and just go and walking by Madison Square Garden. Was just something. It was always a special thing. Seeing it. And just to imagine now, I never could have imagined. To imagine now that I'm going to be center stage in there on the record-breaking event in Madison Square Garden history as far as gate sales. This is just, it's mind-blowing for sure.
Now, as far as at the top of the card, we have Conor McGregor, who's taken the sport to another level, actually. A lot of guys resent that. A lot of guys in the sport resent him and his trash-talking ways. They don't like him. But trash-talking seems to be a big part of the UFC. the hype. I mean, the press conferences get very, very ugly. Do you get into any of that kind of trash talking? And what do you think of the Conor McGregor style?
Yeah, it kind of depends on who I have in the past with a couple of guys, and then I also haven't. You know, with this guy, he doesn't really even speak English, so I'm not going to be talking trash to him when he has to sit there with his mouth shut and he has no idea what I'm saying. So,
that's the best time to do it.
I'm not a bully. I don't want to bully these guys. You know, I'll do that in the octagon, but not with my words. But and as far as Conor, like, you know, it's great what he's done for the sport. You know, he came up fast, and his mouth has earned him a lot of money, and it's something that a lot of people could learn from him. But at the end of the day, you got to be yourself. You can't just change. You can't see what Conor's doing, see all the money he's making, and say that's what I'm going to do. Because if that's not who you are, you're going to come off as a phony. So at the end of the day, you got to be true to yourself.
All right. So as Bernard mentioned, a former UFC middleweight champion of the world. Right now, you're ranked in most spots number 3. So a win on Saturday night propels you to what? And then eventually, Chris, the ultimate goal is to fight who to get back on top.
Yeah, no, so this fight is a guarantee now for a title shot. So I win this fight, I'm fighting Michael Bisping, one of the worst champions of all time.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because he has the guy has won the belt. To give him props on that. He won the belt because I got injured 2 weeks before my fight with Luke Rockhold. He was in the UFC for years in my weight class before I even got in the UFC, and he never even fought for the belt before. He was always kind of like a gatekeeper guy, and it's just so bizarre that he took advantage of that situation, went in there and got a W. But now, since he won that fight, he has fought a 46-year-old guy, a guy who was ranked number 14th in the weight class. I couldn't believe they put that fight together. And now he's calling out like welterweights and stuff. But now, at this point, I'm guaranteed a fight with him after this one. So I just got to go out there and do my job. And I take that belt from Bisping and send him on his way and get ready to start defending.
So Bisping is pretty much just hiding out. He's a coward, and he says Bisping said he won't fight your opponent Saturday night. This Yoel Romero from Cuba, as you mentioned, because Romero tested positive for steroids, and Bisping says that the positive effects from steroids last for years. So he's still benefiting from it. So he will essentially be benefiting from steroids when he fights you Saturday night, if Bisping is correct.
You know, I agree with Bisping on this one, man. There needs to be something changed about these guys who are failing drug tests. They need to be punished more. This is not like they're hitting a ball out of the park in City Field, you know, and they're kind of just cheating themselves and the fans. They're going out there and trying to hurt somebody, and you know, this career is a short career, and we have a long life after this, hopefully, and you don't want to be messed up for the rest of your life because some guy was on steroids that you didn't know about. And so I'm with them, and there needs to be bigger punishment. But with all that saying, every single one of these guys I beat, almost every single one of them have failed for drug tests now. So I've been beating guys who are on steroids.
Right. Worse than baseball UFC. I mean, Jesus. Everybody's on juice.
Machida, Vitor Belfort. I got Tom Lawler, failed drugs. All these guys I beat, apparently were on steroids. So it's something that sucks, but it is what it is.
Listen, you are a tough dude. I've seen you fight, bro. I'm amazed. My jaws agape at the punishment you guys take. And you're a Long Island guy. You were injured, and your house was severely damaged in Hurricane Sandy, but it took you out of the game for a little while. So, but you came back strong, and we commend you for that. But let me ask you this: when you go into a fight with the pain that you know you're going to suffer, do you have like pain pills ready to go afterwards, or what do you do?
Sure.
After a fight, you jump in a barrel of ice, or what happens?
Well, before the fight, you just kind of hope you don't need those painkillers. But pain pills after a fight are always nice because even if you dominate the fight, a lot of times you're scraped up from the octagon. That canvas is a little bit tougher than you guys would think. You know, you're checking leg kicks, you're kicking shins. There's just a lot of crap that you have to endure, even if you're winning a fight. So your body's going to be killing you afterwards. So maybe a painkiller at night before you go to the after party is the way to go.
Yeah, sweet. I like what I hear.
You go like Brett Favre. You take the painkillers before the game. But on a serious note here, not only are you a great fighter, Chris, and again, we wish you the best of luck on Saturday night, but a real New York boy. You mentioned the fact taking the train as a kid to the city from Baldwin, Long Island, how Madison Square Garden always a great place for you. And I know you went to Hofstra. We were there just a couple of weeks ago for the first debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And then, of course, Hurricane Sandy, which Bernard knows about all too well. His house was actually pretty ravaged in that storm. You're a guy that took a lot of time, a lot of your own time to help rebuild after Hurricane Sandy. So you're a real New York guy, man. Congratulations on that.
Man, I have a lot of pride being a New Yorker, being a guy from Long Island. Born and raised, obviously, and I've had a lot of opportunities to travel around the world. And when you first start traveling, you start going to these places, you're like, oh, man, it's so much cheaper here. The weather's better here. And you start thinking, oh, man, what are we doing in New York? And then as I traveled more and more, I started realizing how special New York was and how I'll never leave it. I love New York, and I'm so proud to be from there.
Good for you. Great place. Now, I have to ask you, Chris Weidman, who is the former middleweight champ in the UFC, is going to fight Saturday night in UFC 205 downstairs at Madison Square Garden. A huge, exciting. It's going to be on pay-per-view, by the way, and it's worth every cent. Now, what do you say, Chris Weidman, to the people who trash the sport, even boxing enthusiasts, say the UFC is too barbaric. I can't watch it. It shouldn't be allowed. What do you say to those people?
Don't watch it then. I tell them, meant for everybody. If you're a little older, you grew up in a time where boxing was considered fighting, but boxing was never fighting. But boxing is comparable to wrestling matches, to jiu-jitsu matches, to a kickboxing match. That's not fighting. Fighting is being able to use all the tools that you have as a human being to beat the other guy. All the best guys from around the world with whatever martial art you think is the best. Guess what? Bring it to the table and let's see who's right and wrong. With boxing, you only get to use your hands. That's not fighting. It's an awesome art. It's an awesome martial art, but it's not fighting. So people realize, and if they want to watch fighting, this is what fighting is, and it's very easy to understand. No matter where you are in the world, you know what a fight is, and most people, when they see a fight, they crowd around it, they want to watch it, and it's exciting. So that's pretty much what the UFC is bringing to the table.
I can't argue that. Actually, that's what I hate about soccer. That you can just use your feet. I mean, you got hands and you can't even use them unless you're the goalie. Throw the